we've made it possible for them to do that. And that's their choice now.
Firefighters lost their jobs due to the state's vaccine mandate, but now Moses Lake says they can come back to work. City Council now offering accommodations they didn't have before.
An atmospheric river is aimed at Washington as parts of the state are bracing for heavy rain and strong winds.
Plus, we are learning more about the gunman in Monday's deadly shooting at the Boise Town Square Mall. Turns out he was well known by police and mall security. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. We begin with breaking news this evening. Almost exactly 1 year after he was fired as Spokane's health officer, Dr. Bob Lutz is fighting back.
Dr. Lutz has filed a legal claim indicating that he plans to sue for wrongful termination and defamation. We just received the 40-page notice earlier this afternoon. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk joining us live in the newsroom tonight. He's been reading through those documents. He joins us live now with more on what they say. Kyle?
Well, there's a lot of information in these 40 pages, and we're still reading them line by line. The purpose of this claim is to put the Spokane Regional Health District on notice that Dr. Lutz is filing a wrongful termination suit and that he would like his job back as health officer. Now, the purpose of this claim is to put the health district on notice, as we mentioned, and Lutz is filing a wrongful termination suit, and he wants his job back. The claim also points out tension between Lutz and some elected officials over his response to the COVID-19 pandemic, including his decision to cancel a middle school basketball championship, close playgrounds, and require face masks. Lutz's attorney says the message these officials were sending to Lutz was that the regional economy should be the main factor in his public health decisions. Now, in a statement, Dr. Lutz says, in part, "I took a stand for public health. It cost me my job." Lutz adds that the motives of others will not deter my advocacy. I will continue to stand for public health. Now, in his claim, Dr. Lutz also seeks damages and attorney fees. Lutz says leadership at the health district made insensitive, unprofessional, and untrue statements about him. KREM 2 has reached out to the health board members for a comment. Due to the pending litigation, they told us they cannot comment.
Kyle, thank you very much. In other news, leading up to Washington's vaccine mandate, the city of Moses Lake said that it could not offer accommodations for unvaccinated firefighters. 3 firefighters lost their jobs because of that.
Well, now they can get those jobs back. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is joining us live from the newsroom this evening. Amanda, it sounds like Moses Lake now offering new accommodations.
Yeah, that's right. The union representing Moses Lake firefighters would not accept the loss of 3 firefighters due to the state's vaccine mandate. Their efforts to bring them back paid off. Last night, the Moses Lake City Council agreed to allow accommodations for unvaccinated firefighters.
Ahead of the deadline for Washington's vaccine mandate, the city of Moses Lake determined it could not make accommodations for unvaccinated firefighters. 3 firefighters lost their jobs because of this, putting more strain on an already short-staffed fire department. But the city reversed that decision in its council meeting last night. With a close vote of 4-3, the city agreed to allow accommodations.
It is a big win for us. We're getting our guys back.
According to a statement from the city, this vote came after reviewing accommodations granted by other jurisdictions. The accommodations apply to Moses Lake fire personnel with approved medical or religious exemptions. The city says unvaccinated firefighters must wear an N95 mask while on duty and take a rapid COVID-19 test before every shift. They will also be allowed to perform duties listed in their job description except for providing emergency medical aid, such as first aid.
We said we wanted it to come to council for a vote, and that's how it got on the agenda.
Mayor David Colonel voted in favor of the accommodations. He told me he chose to get vaccinated, but he does not support a mandate that takes that choice away.
When your livelihood is on the line, it might change what you do, and that's what makes the mandate wrong. People had to choose between their livelihood and getting a vaccine.
Councilmember Dean Hankins is one of the 3 council members who voted against offering accommodations. He says his experience as a physician's assistant played a large factor in how he voted.
Your patients are the number one priority. And for me as on the council, the citizens of the city are my number one priority. So you take the medical aspect, and being a councilman, I saw no other way to go except to vote against it.
Now, all 3 firefighters who lost their jobs had religious exemptions approved, and under the new accommodations the city is now offering, all 3 can come back to the department if they choose. Reporting in the newsroom, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Thank you very much. The Boise Town Square Mall reopened to the public today after the shooting on Monday there. 3 people died in that shooting, including the gunman, 27-year-old Jacob Berquist. The 2 other people who were shot and killed were 26-year-old Joe Acker of Caldwell and 49-year-old Roberto Padilla Arguelles from Rupert. A GoFundMe has been set up to help get Arguelles' remains to Mexico for a funeral. The second victim, Joe Acker, was a security guard who was working on Monday. Her family posted on Facebook yesterday saying, quote, "Joe will be remembered as a hero."
Now, all 4 people who were injured during that shooting, including a police officer, are expected to be okay. Boise police said in a press conference that police actually knew the shooter. They said they have had contact with him in the past, but never did have a reason to arrest him. Officers now still trying to determine a motive behind that shooting. Back here at home, a 15-year-old died after being hit by a drunk driver in Inchelium over the weekend. Drake Pacotis was on a hunting trip with his girlfriend. They were on 4-wheelers on the Colville Reservation when a drunk driver hit them. Pacotis' girlfriend did survive but was also seriously injured. Now there is a GoFundMe that has been set up to help with funeral and hospital costs. You can go to our website, KREM.com, to find that link to the GoFundMe. No cause has been determined yet in the deadly Montana Amtrak train derailment last month. A new report was released just on Tuesday showing the train's emergency brakes were activated. Amtrak estimates the damage at more than $22 million. That derailment killed 3 people and seriously injured 10 others. The testing positivity rate in North Idaho nearly twice the state's average. That was revealed during yesterday's Idaho Health and Welfare briefing. The director there says 22% of the state's new cases last week were in the Panhandle region. Hospitalizations also increased still by another 3%, and in just 2 weeks, almost 100 new deaths were reported. Also, they talked about what it would take to get out of this crisis standards of care. He said the short answer is when the surge of patients being driven by COVID no longer exceeds the healthcare resources that are available.
An FDA panel has recommended to give a kid-sized dose of Pfizer's vaccine to kids 5 through 11. The Washington Department of Health says right now there are no doses of the Pfizer kids vaccine in Washington, but we should get them shipped late next week.
Has received about or has been allocated about 230,000 doses of that vaccine. And we, in this population of 5 to 11-year-olds, there is about 680,000 kids in it. We know they all won't come forward. We do believe from the national polls that about 30% of those parents will come forward.
Pharmacies like Walmart and Walgreens are expected to get about 80,000 doses. State health officials say they are working with schools to set up vaccination clinics if they don't already have one.
Pharmaceutical company Merck has now agreed to allow other drug makers to produce its COVID-19 pill. That move is aimed at helping millions in poorer countries access this potentially life-saving drug. Drug makers will receive royalties under the agreement for as long as the World Health Organization deems that COVID-19 is a global emergency. All right, we're going to take a quick break here from headlines, but we're talking about clouds that moved in today, but more rain could be here very soon.
Let's get straight out to meteorologist Thomas Patrick in the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, unlike last night, you are not holding an umbrella for your live hit tonight.
I almost forgot about that 24 hours ago. I had to test out the new umbrella. But yeah, this time around, well, it's just overcast skies above my head here in the Outdoor Weather Center, but the winds have remained. They've been quite gusty, we'll put it that way, throughout the day today. As you take a look at Lake Coeur d'Alene behind me, there are those wind speeds. This is actually reported out at the Spokane Airport, still sustained at 13 miles per hour. Have been gusting upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour earlier in the day today. So these winds are not going to quit. They're going to still stay quite strong for tomorrow. When you start to look at the statewide picture, look at the heavy rain that's moving into the I-5 corridor from Seattle to Portland. The clouds pretty much just being tossed over the Cascades. Well, the rain will arrive by tomorrow morning because this is an atmospheric river weather setup that we have that is aimed directly at Washington. So coming up, I'm going to detail how much rain all of our area cities are going to pick up and who's most at risk to see some flooding across the state.
Sounds good, Thomas. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Well, we are less than a week away from the general election in Washington and Idaho. So next, we are looking at the candidates for some of the biggest races in our area.
Adele, teacher, artist, and I'm the host for my show called Primal Survivor on National Geographic. I get to have one foot in Spokane and this wonderful culture that we have here, and then my other foot is in the wild somewhere with indigenous people and wild animals. I've been a member at STCU for about 15 years. It was my sister that told me that I gotta switch over. I use my STCU card on every continent except Antarctica, probably because I haven't been there yet. I'm Hazen Odell, and STCU is here for good.
When we keep Idaho students in classrooms, they have better physical and mental health. Help keep the student you love in school by getting them vaccinated if they're eligible. Make sure they wear a mask, frequently wash their hands, and stay home and get tested when sick. Our teachers and other school staff can also do their part by choosing to vaccinate, wearing a mask, and supporting other preventive measures. For more information on preventive measures, please visit coronavirus.idaho.gov or contact your child's school.
At Jewelry Design Center, we want to be your jeweler for life. That's why we offer our best price first. Rather than high markups, we price our Jewelry Design Center diamonds as low as we can and still remain in business. With diamonds this bright, we could charge more, but the bottom line has never been our top priority. We are a family business with one goal, to be your jeweler for life. Jewelry Design Center, since 1977.
The Gamma knife we have here in Spokane is the state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line Gamma knife that is available in the world.
The brain is high-priced.
Yeah, you can stand there. Yep, I can. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
You only want to hit the tumor.
Thank you.
Very, very little dose to the surrounding brain. It's the only machine capable of delivering this type of precision and with almost no interruption in any of the other treatments that they need.
Not only is this the best radiation technology, but it's delivered by a caring team of professionals who have been doing this for decades.
KREM 2 News is sponsored by Coeur d'Alene Honda.
There's just people moving in so fast.
The inland Northwest is booming. New people, new jobs, new opportunities.
This is a different market than I've ever experienced.
With growth comes growing pains.
My dream is to have a home for my children, and that is not happening.
KREM 2's Boomtown is all about growth in our region.
Driving rent prices sky high in Spokane.
Holding our leaders accountable and making sure our communities are ready. Boomtown, only on KREM 2 News, where there's more to every story.
In a little more than a week, voters will decide who will fill the District 1 seat on the Spokane City Council that's being vacated by Kate Burke.
Our political reporter Ian Smay spoke with both candidates about their plans for office. He's joining us live here from the KREM 2 newsroom. Hi, Ian.
Mark Whitney, business owner Jonathan Bingle is facing off against certified laboratory specialist Nagmana Shirazi to represent Northeast Spokane's District 1 on the Spokane City Council. Here's what they had to say about what they want to address if they win the election next week.
I'm born and raised in Spokane. I went to Rogers, my whole life I've lived in this area. And just over the last, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, I've seen Spokane, with an increased homeless population. I've felt as if my city has gotten less safe.
I ran in 2019. I came very close to winning. And that time I decided to run because I felt that we needed representation at the city council level from people like me, being a renter, being a single income family, single mother, being an educator and a scientist.
I think that people who are receiving services from the city, there has to be benchmarks to show that people are getting to the path of self-sustainability again. If all we're doing is just providing every need for every single person, then they're not going to provide for themselves again, and they're going to eventually become just wards of the state. And this is not good for them.
Housing is a human right. We have to make sure that we have all kinds of housing available. We need to be building right away. We need to make sure that people who need help get the help that they need. We don't sit on the ARPA dollars that are coming in so that people can stay housed. We need to create that stability, and we need to build. That's what we need to do.
We need housing of all kinds right now. So we need the 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom houses as well, for families with many children or, need that space, totally fine. We also need lots of 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 2 bath homes for families who are just starting out or families that are wanting to move down.
We need to build. We have the North-South freeway going over here. We probably need to look at STA to see what kind of land is going to be available. And perhaps we need to build. We need to be building right now.
I'll put that in the calendar.
You can see the full interviews with both Bingle and Shirazi on the KREM 2 YouTube page. For more information on the races you might see on your ballot, as well as where to drop off your ballot in Spokane County, text the word election to 509-448-2000 and we'll send that information to your phone. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Well, the rain and wind are back for tomorrow. At least temperatures are actually going to be quite mild for Thursday afternoon, but that rain will arrive by first thing in the morning. We're timing out that atmospheric river weather system next in your forecast.
Some health plans serve members with these. There's one health plan that serves members with these.
Pacific Source, this is Jake.
Pacific Source Health Plans, going beyond what's required to put members first.
Hi, I'm Ron.
And I'm Shelley.
At Rosenberg Construction, we build some of the most beautiful custom homes in North Idaho.
Like our spectacular spec home, now for sale at the club at Rock Creek, Coeur d'Alene's newest private golf course filled with stunning natural beauty. Our custom homes are furnished and designed with you in mind.
For our clients looking for that unique, one-of-a-kind piece of furniture, we always recommend Consign Furniture in Liberty Lake.
From great rooms to dining rooms to master suites, Consign Furniture is sure to turn any house into a home.
Clean lines and fun times. That's the Jetta at Post Falls Volkswagen. Besides looking so good, the Jetta is tech savvy with a large center display touchscreen, generous driver assist features, and remote controls from your phone.
The Jetta is fuel efficient but doesn't lack for power with turbocharged engine performance.
People are surprised when they check out the Volkswagen Jetta because it delivers so much for a compact sedan.
See the Jetta at your nearby Post Falls Volkswagen, the home of 0000.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on the inside. It's true. If you have diabetes, you know high blood sugar is the root of the problem. But that excess sugar can cause the blood vessels to be seriously damaged. And when that happens, this could happen: vision loss or even blindness. That's right, diabetic retinopathy is a leading cause of blindness for adults in the US. But even though you can't see it, there is something you can do about it. Remember this: now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is an incredibly important part of your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Just say to yourself, "Now I see." Then go see an eye care specialist. Visit nowic.com to get the facts about diabetes, your eyes, and what you can do next to take control of your sight. Brought to you by Regeneron.
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah, okay.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do.
Shh, I'm being quiet. Breathing on me.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
At Pacific Source Health Plans, we certainly don't condone vandalism. But with our no referrals required to see a specialist benefit, we thought a few alterations were in order. Pacific Source Health Plans, going beyond what's required.
The city of Spokane is already preparing for the La Nina winter. At a press conference today, the mayor, along with the city's street director, asked people to be ready for heavy snow and windy conditions this winter.
So the city is reminding you to park only on the odd side of the street when it snows. That's so the plows can get through your neighborhood. If you park downtown, you're going to need to move your car, though, between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. They're also asking people to help their neighbors throughout the winter.
We're asking people to get to know their neighbors and to offer help to those who may not be able to shovel their walks and driveways. Remember, seniors and disabled individuals can call 311 to get connected to a volunteer service for snow removal before we receive wintry weather. Snow season really does require all of us to work together.
During heavy snowfall, people can check the city's plow progress map. You can find that on the website, SpokaneCity.org. So La Nina winter, which means, Thomas, we could see, more moisture or snow than a typical year, right?
Yeah, and remember last winter was a La Nina winter. We ended up with 50 inches of snow, which is pretty close to normal. We had that 1 week in January where it just rained instead of snow.
Right.
So think if that was all snow, we would have just kind of blew the doors wide open.
But 0809, we had like 90 inches of snow, something like that?
Yeah, 97.7. That was the record most snow, also a La Nina winter. So there's that high-end potential for snowfall.
That's a bit aggressive.
So it's all about the temperature is what you're saying.
It is very much all about the temperatures, but we still have to take it kind of one forecast at a time because there's no way anybody's going to be guaranteeing 90 inches of snow in any given winter.
We're okay with that.
But we're still in the fall season here. We're still actually dealing with rainfall. In fact, the system moving through tomorrow is a mild one. Our highs could actually be in the low 60s for Thursday afternoon. So with rain moving across the state, it's just going to stay as rain. In fact, our snow levels are close to about 6,000 feet as they stand right now. So only very high mountain snow in the forecast for the time being. Heaviest rain in northern Washington, as you'll see on our future tracker in a moment. At least the Halloween holiday weekend is set to be dry, which is great for the trick-or-treaters. So here's the atmospheric river. You can see it in the cloud cover. Let's plot the low pressure and cold front on that as well. Good textbook example, but a mild, kind of low-end atmospheric river in terms of strength. Just enough to kind of guide and funnel that moisture. And in this case, it is directed right at western Washington. So we are expecting rain pretty much all across the state for tomorrow, picking up during the morning hours. So I think the heaviest rain for Spokane is going to be in the morning, about 6 to 9 a.m. or so. I think northern Washington could see the rain almost all day long, and we'll see another chance into the evening hours as well. By the way, it will be windy pretty much most of the day. We have flood watches across the northern portions of the state, also adding Bonner County in Idaho as well. Burn scar flooding for our region in the inland northwest could be about 2 inches of rain, perhaps up to 4 inches of rain for the western side of the state, hence some of the flooding potential there. As for our rainfall totals, they're going to vary quite wildly across the state. Probably just under a half an inch of rain in Spokane. That should have no kind of flooding issues for us. But you see between about 1 to 2 inches for some North Idaho locations, just because the terrain and the mountains, the upslope flow usually squeezes out a little bit more rainfall in terms of the system as a whole. So we'll be watching that. I mean, that's why the western slopes of the Cascades usually end up with a lot of rain or snow. In this case, again, high elevation snow for tomorrow. Now to future tracker. There's the morning batch of rain, 5 a.m., kind of waking up with some cloudiness and raininess across the region. But by the afternoon hours, it all migrates to just our northern regions. So it may get dry for a little bit, Spokane, but we got another chance for rain, or at least those rain chances are continuous throughout most of the day on Thursday. Kind of wrapping up Friday morning, one more batch of rain, especially for the Palouse and some North Idaho locations, but it dries up very quickly for Friday afternoon. By the way, it's just going to stay pretty windy in the meantime. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour for tomorrow and about 20 to 25 miles per hour on Friday. After that, a much calmer weekend ahead of us. Temperatures right around 50 degrees. Both days, at least during the day, should be just fine. Trick-or-treaters should expect temperatures falling from the low 40s into the 30s at night, again, for the trick-or-treat hours. And really, as long as it's above the freezing mark, I think it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, looks just fine. Those trick-or-treaters will be very happy with you, Thomas. Yeah. Nicely done. All right, still coming up, a new addition to McEwen Park is set to open this weekend. How you can be part of the celebration when we come back.
Coming up on a busy news day, what you need to know about a rare genetic mutation that can dramatically raise the risk of developing breast cancer. The CBS Evening News is now just minutes away.
Do you need extra hot water this holiday season? Extend your water heater's capacity without buying a new tank. Gold Seal Plumbing has an economical way to get more hot water out of your current water heater. Call Gold Seal Plumbing today. Quality plumbing since 1967.
Turn hard-working days into happy nights. Our battery AK Homeowner Series starts at just $199.99. Real steel. Find yours at over 10,000 local steel dealers.
Enjoy the natural beauty of Coeur d'Alene with our fall stay and cruise packages.
This year's Farmer's Almanac is predicting one of the coldest and longest winters in years. So now is the time to get your home ready with USA Insulation. Our premium injection foam in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. And it pays for itself in energy savings. Our foam can even be installed with existing insulation. Get insulated now before winter and save up to $1,500. Stop freezing and start saving.
USA Insulation.
Zach Zapone doesn't just support defunding the police. He signed a pledge committing to it. Zapone champions the same extreme policies that will turn Spokane into another Seattle. His plan to defund the police is wrong for Spokane.
When I see a candidate take money from a defund the police organization, or when I see them sign a defund the police pledge for that same organization, that's enough for me.
Zach Zapone, extreme positions, radical friends.
Well, not the game we were hoping for as penalties stack up on both sides of the ball.
Penalties is right, Jim. I don't know how it gets any sloppier than this.
And here's the snap. And the halfback runs into his own lineman, then falls down.
That may be the best play of the game, Jim.
Fans streaming.
We can't guarantee that every game you watch will become an instant classic, but we can guarantee that you'll watch to the end. Turf Club Sportsbook, the ultimate game changer, coming this fall to Northern Quest.
Due to tremendous growth, Gold Seal Plumbing is in need of journeyman plumbers. We're only looking for the best plumbers that adhere to the highest ethics and want to work for the best team, the Gold Seal Plumbing team. Call or go to goldsealplumbing.com. Quality plumbing since 1967.
If you are looking for something to do this weekend, you can check out the brand new ice skating rink opening in Coeur d'Alene.
Yes, this brand new rink is right there at McEwen Park. It's going to feature a DJ booth, private heated igloos, party spaces, and a snack shack.
Come out and get on the ice, bring your friends and family. We'll have hot cocoa, wake up call coffee is going to be serving, specialty drinks. We're going to have fire pits and just Christmas music, and it's just a holiday fun place to be.
That does sound fun. Right. And leading up to opening day, the rink's sponsor, which is Numerica, they will be hosting special giveaways on social media. Then on Saturday, opening day, Numerica will also be out there at the rink. They'll be hosting a number of different activities and providing hot cocoa to all the visitors.
Should be fun, right? Can either of you guys ice skate, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not well, but yeah, he's good. I know.
Do you have like hockey skates?
Yeah, I do have hockey skates. They're actually a size too big for me, so I can't do the hockey slide very well. So if honestly, sometimes I still rent them out just to get the skates that fit.
I find myself just like walking on my tippy toes with like I don't know what you call that. The brakes for the skates. What do you call it? Toe pick? Yeah. I don't know. Anyways,
the igloos sound really fun.
That's gonna be cool.
You could get out there. They're heated on the inside. A hot cup of cocoa. I mean, that's like something you could just stay out there all day at.
Well, and that's like ushering in the holiday season because as soon as Halloween is over, it's basically the holiday season, right?
Well, it already is at Costco. All the decorations are up in there, right?
I was going to say the back wall at Target already has the lights.
Oh yeah, it's time.
Hey Thomas, quickly let's talk about tomorrow because it could be kind of an interesting weather day.
Yeah, showery and windy for sure through Thursday. At least mild during the daytime hours, but just have the rain gear ready just in case through the day.
Sounds good.
See you guys at 6.
Good night.